Hi, hi, everybody. Welcome to the show, Running Your Best Life. I'm Victor Vizcaino, your host, and with me is my co host, Adele. And today we're going to be covering running your best year in 2026. We'll cover some different methods and different goals that we have in order to make this year your best running year. So, Adele, do you have any good points on how our audience could achieve that?
Yes. And happy new year to everybody. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season. Did a little running during the holidays for everybody and happy new year. And Victor and I would just really love to help set y'all up for success in 2026. So I'm going to start with a couple of key points. One, see where you are right now. Where's your fitness level? What's your running been? If it's a running race, if it's an Ironman training, have you been doing any swimming? Have you been doing any cycling? If you're involved in other sports, weight training, anything like that. See where you are right now. We're in the first week of 2026. And this takes a little bit of time, y'all. This takes intention. See where you are, see how you're feeling. Everybody has new goals for every new year. Some of us don't make resolutions because I don't, because I just want to be the best person I am every day. But in regards to running or any kind of fitness event, where do you want to be in 90 days? Second quarter of the year, third quarter of the year, and do you have any races coming up, especially in the next year at this point, end of the holiday season? So intentionally see where you are, assess what your level is, and where are you setting your goals? Do you have a 10K maybe in the spring? Are you setting yourself up for a half Ironman like Victor and Crystal have been doing? Some of his clients are setting up for half Ironman and Ironman. What is your goal and where do you want to achieve that in this year of 2026? So the first thing would be your assessment of where you are. And I think Victor probably has some good information on how we should go about doing that.
Absolutely. I think that what's made the big difference in my running is cross training and
Mm.
accountability. Probably accountability, I'll put right there at the top.
Mhm.
You can have a running club, a triathlon club. I made most of my improvements when I joined my triathlon club. But before that, in order to run my very first marathon, I joined the Roadrunners Club in 19. I'm going to date myself way back. It was 1994. No,
Wow,
wait.
yeah.
No, no, no. I'm sorry. Not that far. So 2004.
Okay. Yeah.
2004.
25, 20 years ago, 20 something years ago, a little bit more than that. But that's when you were really dialing in what you wanted to achieve in your life regarding your running life, right?
That's correct. That is
Yeah.
correct. So know your why. Join an accountability group that's going to keep you honest and have a lot of. That's where you learn a lot of the tips. Uh,
Right.
follow us for sure. Running your
Right.
best life. You're going to get a lot of tips right here from Adele and from me and
Right.
whoever we invite as a guest.
Right.
Um,
Right. One of the things I wanted to share now that Victor's given us those key points, when you make an assessment of where you want to go and what you want to do, if it's an April or May event, you've got a few months to train. I just suggested to Victor that he and Crystal consider coming to New Orleans. They bringing back the New Orleans Marathon weekend, which is going to be in November. That's 10 months for people to train. And down here, we've missed the New Orleans Marathon for a few years, just incidentals why it wasn't able to take place in a new management group. That's been a huge excitement down here in the New Orleans area because people have been begging for someone to step up and take advantage of that. And they're running different distances at that weekend with a big fitness event too. Those are the kind of things you want to look for. See what you have coming up. The 10K Crescent City Classic is coming up down here. It'll be my 45th year running. So I have some goals for January, February, March, and April. I'm going to be running that race again. I want to run most of it. I'll do some run walk methods. But I know now, after talking with Victor a little earlier, I have a clearer plan on how to do things like cadence on interval running, setting up a run walk distance plan, right? So
right.
that at 68 years old now, I'm not going to overtax my body because I do bike, I do swim, I do work out with the weights and other things to do resistance training and weight training to keep my body, in the best shape possible as I age, because that's important for me. So that's all part of the assessment. I have accountability to myself first. I think Victor will agree with me on that. But also too, I have running buddies or walking buddies. I have cycling friends when we can go out. And if I say, okay, I'd like to ride about 30 miles, but I'd like to do intervals in the second 15 back, they're willing to work with me on that, right? So the accountability, just having somebody show up, and encourages all of us to show up too. There's intention in what we do, y'all. And that's one of the other things that you should put down as some of the key points to look at when you're making an assessment of where you are. Also, too, and Victor, please, please, please comment on this when I say it. When you're making an assessment to set all these things up for a goal that you want to achieve, you're taxing your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit. If you've had some issues physically or medically, please see your physician, primary care doctor, whoever it is, then can help you assess what your body will be able to withstand in your training. Because there will be impact, there will be cardio endurance, and there'll be some resistance and weight training to build some strength. Victor, you got some things to say about that?
Absolutely. The more that you can incorporate all the cross training, strength
Mm-hmm.
training, stretching, and some yoga in there, you're going to be better off in preventing injuries. And that's one of the reasons why I like to recommend a running club, because a lot of the running
Right,
clubs will cover some of those tips on form, how to run efficiently, the things that you're supposed to look after so that you can prevent injuries, because I think that's probably the number one reason why
right,
people stop running
right,
is they start to get knee pains, they start to get other injuries, shin splints, and there's a lot of things that we can do to avoid some of those injuries. And if you do those, it's going to increase your chances of getting to the
right,
finish line. But
right.
definitely I would register for that race, because it's like throwing your hat over the fence, like they
Yep,
say.
yep,
Once you commit to it, you're more likely to do whatever it takes to get you to the finish line, because you've already registered, you made the investment. I think that's a really good thing to do.
right.
The other thing that I would suggest is, uh, I would say, if you need to, you can get a coach. But before getting a coach is getting a running plan. So have a running
Mm-hmm.
plan, and I have one for if you're interested in a marathon. I think right now all I have is the for the marathon training plan. I have two of them. One, you can go to my website and download it for free, a training plan that I have, and that's more general. I have another training plan in Training Peaks. So if you go to Training Peaks website, uh, and you go to where they list all of their plans,
Right,
I have another one for a walk run method
right,
in their
right.
site. So that one is up for purchase, but I believe it's only $39 for a 16-week training plan that you can incorporate the run walk method.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think that's a great idea, y'all. If y'all remember, if you follow us already, or if you're new, Victor will put some things in notes after our podcast is sent out. Just look at the notes. If you have any questions at all, you can always type us a question. Victor will find that pretty quickly. If I need to respond to it with you, I will. So will Victor. But definitely get a plan. I think that's the biggest start. Obviously, you need a good pair of shoes. Tie up your shoe, walk out your door, walk around the block a little bit, and say, okay, now I'm ready. That's where you start. It's that first step. And remember what I always tell people all the time: the miracle is not that you finish, the miracle is that you had the courage to start. That's where your intention is. That's where your accountability comes from. That's where your plan is going to be formulated. So if you know you can set up 3 days a week, get out and get out and walk to begin. Get out and get a training plan. As Victor said, he's got something on his website, the EYM coaching. Go to it and get an idea in your head. Get a notebook, keep track of it. All these different digital programs like Strava and Training Peaks, Pacer, all these other ones will help you do that. Some of them are free if you want more advanced. Go ahead and purchase the subscription to it. All of these things will allow you the right tools to achieve what you want to achieve. And y'all, we always say you want to find the best way to achieve your goal. You want to find the best way without injuries or without setbacks. The other thing that needs to go on your little list with accountability, cross training, what is your why? What is your intention? You need to look at your lifestyle. And Victor and I have both been through this. I'm in my 60s, Victor's in his 50s. Crystal, who y'all have met, is in her 40s, getting ready to do her first Ironman this year. She's had specific goals as well. The different people you've met through our podcast. Y'all, we have been there and we've had to adjust lifestyle changes as we've trained for achieving our goals. And when Victor was trying to train for Boston, he was working full time, had a young family, the whole bit. When I was training for my marathon, I'd go out at 4:30 in the morning before I had two young children to wake up for school. So you have to look at your lifestyle as well when you're making this assessment of where you can go to achieve the goal you want to achieve and the time of the year that you want to achieve it. So that's where the plan comes is too. Victor, that's a great point. I'm so glad that you brought that up. I really, really am.
Yes. The other thing that I'm super excited to share with everyone is I am big on cadence counting, as
Yes.
Dale can tell.
Yes.
I love to count my cadence, and that's how I qualified for the Boston Marathon, where I counted my steps the whole marathon. But I
Mm-hmm.
was practicing that way. And now I've actually written a book that's going to be coming out pretty soon. So let me know if you're interested in the comments below, and I'll make sure that you get a copy of the book, or I'll tell you when it's coming out and keep you up to date on that.
Right.
The book is called Rhythm Running, and it's all about counting your cadence, because that's what makes you efficient. But I use it also to remind me of my posture when I'm counting. I'm thinking about
Right.
my posture, I'm thinking about where my foot is landing. There's so many things, my breathing pattern. There's a lot more to it than just counting your steps.
Right.
And it's a way, I use it as a way to stay focused, because if I can stay focused and I practice it sort of a meditation, it helps me in the other parts of my life when I need to focus on something.
Right.
Because running takes such a big part of my life. I'm a long distance runner. And when I'm out there doing those long runs and I can practice that level of focus, it practice my mind to be able to focus on other tasks when I'm not running.
I think that's a great point. I know we're going kind of quick on some of these good notes that you should be taking, these good points of how to get started and run the way you want to run in 2026. But I want to bring something up to y'all too. Victor and I have we talked for a little while prior to coming on to record a little session for y'all. He and Crystal are actually running an Olympic distance triathlon down over in Florida. They're traveling across the country this coming weekend. There's a celebration that Crystal really wants to do that as a tribute to her dad, who's no longer with her. And I think it's a great comment that you find something in your heart and what your why might be to do it for someone that's close to you that might no longer be with you, present in your life physically. But that's just a key for what they're doing. That's this weekend, so they'll be traveling. That's how they going into the start their 2026, y'all. Which means that they focused on the last few months of training to get there, to travel, to make the plans to be there, to achieve this opportunity and achieve their goal to finish the event. I'll be running in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge. I'll be running the Louisiana Marathon weekend, which is the 16th, 17th, 18th. The 16th is a Friday, packet day, expo day, my favorite day, one of my favorite days in January. Go and cause a lot of trouble for the vendors that I've known now. It's the 15th anniversary. I've been there every year since it started. So my intention over the last couple of months is to be ready to do the 2 day event again. And my body, as y'all know, is a little bit older. I haven't done the running consistently. I do a lot more walking, a lot more run walking. But I signed up last year, right after the 2025 event, because it's the 15th anniversary, I signed up to do the quarter, the quarter marathon on Saturday and the half marathon on Sunday. They will be run walking events for me. They're not going to be the hardcore running where I used to achieve positions in my age group, right? I am no longer at that point in my running life. But in 2026, I have some intention to do specific training to see what I have left in me as I approach 70. I've got 2 years to hit 70, y'all. I want to be doing this again at 70, at 69 and 70 in 2027, right? So as I approach the beginning of 2026, the middle of January, 2 weeks in, I'm going to do that event again because it jump starts and sets me up for success as I go in to finish what I want to finish in February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and September, October, November, December. Y'all, it's intentional. Look at what we're doing. We don't just talk. We walk the walk, we run the miles, we live the experience, right? And when we live it, the greatest reward is crossing that finish line of the journey we've had to get there. And I know that's all part of the mindset and the motivation and the spiritual part of what we do. But that's another part of what Victor and I want to share with y'all as well. That's your why. That's personal. It's very selfish and it can be, but that's also the grace you give yourself to put yourself in a position to work towards a goal. A lot of people have them in their personal, professional lives as well. If this is your fitness journey that you want to set up for yourself for so many different reasons, make it happen, y'all. Make it happen. You can do it. Look at us. Call us. We'll help you make it happen.
Awesome. I'm glad you pointed out, and congratulations, Adele, on having this goal that you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
What is the distance that you're doing? And when?
Quarter marathon on Saturday, which is about 6.5 miles, right? And then the half marathon on Sunday. So I'll
Oh,
get in. I'll get in more than I used to do it all the time with running and focused running, y'all. Your body changes. That's why I talk about lifestyle, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So you got, basically just under 7 and then a little over 13. So it'll be a 20-mile weekend for me, which is great. I'm
wow.
swimming on Friday. I'm just telling y'all. And I'm swimming on Monday just to tell y'all.
Yeah,
No impact.
yeah, what is your why? Because I want to really hone in that point for our audience, that how important that is to always tie some purpose, some
Right.
big meaning to any of the goals that they set themselves, because that's going to definitely influence your performance.
Hmm.
What is your why? What is the main reason you are doing this? The quarter marathon and the half marathon.
So last year, I had signed up for the quarter marathon thinking I would be able to run it. But if you remember, last New Year's Eve, I had a melanoma, cancerous melanoma removed from my front of my right leg. So I was only able to really walk 2 weeks later, no running yet. I promised my surgeon I would not run, bike, or swim for at least a month out. Give the muscles and the tissues time to heal, and also to find out if I had any other cancer in that part of my body, which I did not. So I'm cancer free again. So there's a celebration concept to why I'm doing it. There's also a celebration to being at that race for 15 years, just like I've been at the Crescent City Classic now, 45 of the 49 years of that race. It's it's a tradition for me, but it's also something that as long as I can, I want to be there. And if something prevents me, has to be a pretty darn good reason. And I didn't use a very bad expletive on that. I used darn because to keep me from something that gives me so much joy based on the effort put into it, the journey of the training, that's my why. I'm cancer free now, 28 years from the cervical and uterine cancer. When I hit my birthday in December, that's a 28-year mark. 40 years. 40 years old, ran my first marathon after getting my first clear cancer report in 10 years. There's my why to being out there again this year. That's
That's
it.
awesome.
Living my life, living my best life.
Running your best year this year.
Yep.
Awesome. No,
Yep.
that's great. Absolutely great. And yes, people, set those goals, put a why on it,
Hmm.
then tune into our podcast to give
Yes.
you some tips, and you can post questions that you have for us to help you on anything that we can help you. If we don't have the answer, we're definitely going to look for
Look it up.
the answer and get back to you. And we have resources as well on my website. You can do
Mhm.
the training plans and other things that might help you. Mm, And yes, I want this to be your best running year and your best overall year.
So we're gonna set some things up and give y'all some advance notice. But I think what Victor and I do want to at least put out there for another couple of weeks down the line is we each have a why while we're running these races. This coming weekend for he and Crystal, and the following weekend for myself. Let's recap the following week when we're both finished, and let you know how we both. We'll let all of y'all know how we've done, what the biggest rewards were, and any medals that we have. We got to show y'all.
So,
So, my friend, good luck to you and Crystal. I hope you have safe travels down there to Sarasota, Florida. I think the race
thank
is right
you.
outside of that area.
Hope so.
I'm going to be driving to Baton Rouge. I only have about an hour drive, hour and 5 minute drive.
All right. Well, our next podcast, I want to know how your race went, and I'll also recap how Crystal and I did. I'm going to be
Yep.
racing with her. I'm training her for her Ironman, so I'm just going to stick with her and try to do our best.
I think we're all going to have a wonderful opportunity to put ourselves out there and challenge ourselves again, individually and uniquely. But y'all, find a way to run your best life. And you know what we say about running your best life, right? How will you live in your life? Make it your best life as well.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank
So we're
you.
going to see y'all soon, y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye, my love. I'll see you soon.
See.